Ted?
Yep, and I'm Jim, and we're finally trying to get back on the air here in North Idaho.
So today what we're going to do is go and we're going to start with a fundamental that you could do in the off season that will translate to what you end up doing on the snowboard. It's the same action, same kind of move, same kind of feel. Difference will be when you get on the snow, it'll move, it'll go faster, it'll be fun. So if I have this piece down in front of me and it's the same lineup as the board, I'm going to line up on it and I'm going to put both feet on. So first I'm going to take my front foot and put that on and bend it and feel where I am in the arch of my foot. It's bent, the knee is bent, the ankle is bent, the hip is set down. And then I take the other foot and I put that on. Now I have both knees bent, both feet. And as I'm doing this, you can see my toes are high up in the air and I'm standing on my heels. But I'm still standing on my heels with my knees bent. So I'm not locking this and starting to swing back, which is something that would make me tip over. I'm putting both feet on, I have my heels down, and I bend. And I just bend a little bit. If you could squat, great. But if you can't, just bend a little bit. So now I have a bend, and now I can come forward on these toes by pushing the knees, by sitting back and letting the heels go back. So this is how I'm going to maneuver the snowboard from edge to edge, which will allow me to turn. All right? If I can, I might try, because I'm not strapped in, to go to one knee, just the front one. Feel the weight in that. Feel this empty. Just there for balance, not putting weight on it. And notice that I'm not leaning back. This is much easier to stand up on this thing, but it's not the way I'm going to want to ride the snowboard. Okay?
So while Ted was doing that, on a center balance aligned to the board, you guys can practice. Ted was standing there left foot forward, which is a regular rider. I'm standing here right foot forward, or as goofy. What we're trying to get into is, and we do say lead from the front, his front leg, my front leg, Karate Kid. We moved into a position of weight on our front leg while looking at our ride. Okay, now a lot of things in snowboarding, people tell you to lean back this way. Everybody knows if I lean back this way on any board sport that it's going to shoot out in front of me and I'm going to be chasing. In snowboarding, we move down the mountain to our forward foot. We push that knee in, we pull that knee out. We push that knee in, we pull that knee out. That's exactly what Ted was doing when he was showing you. So those are your basics right there of how your snowboard will work. We hope this should be easy. You don't have to have a snowboard to practice it. You can get a stick, you can get a dowel rod. Just learn that you're going to make tiny little moves. Another example would be if Ted stood straight up right now and the wind blew 100 miles an hour this way, you'd see that Ted tipped back that way. If the wind changed and Ted had the wind 100 miles an hour back here, his body will cross that line and be on the toe side. So that wind, just like a sailboat, you're moving. And those are the basic concepts to a snowboard. You're on a bicycle and you want to go left, you're going to lean over to the left, you're going to go left. You're going to lean over to the right, you're going to go right. That's all that happened right there. The same concept, except Ted's eyes are actually here. Hips, shoulders, and everything is aligned.
Face, eyes. I can open a little bit, and as I start to do this, my back leg will start to tip. And that's when I'm taking the weight out of the front and shifting it to the rear.
Watch those sunglasses and you'll see that the legs will shift independent of each other. There's the front leg, and there's the front leg, and there's the front leg, and there's the front leg. That's a really good example right there, Ted. A little hip movement. All right, cool. So hopefully this has helped for you at this time.
All right.
Okay, so we're back with the second section of this video, which is we're moving around with one foot on the board. And that's a little bit more difficult when you have a real board on because you're adding 15 pounds to 1 foot. And that requires you to be able to move it, also flip the heel out and stuff like that. So we're going to start with a movement to the left. Again, Ted's going to the left. He's already standing on the left of that straight line we showed you earlier. Picks the board up, stands on that back foot and brings the board around it. The tail is moving out, and he comes back to the front. So, kind of get used to that. See if you can do it in 4 points of the compass, which would be north, east, west, east, south, 4 points. So 4 movements back to the start. Now, once again, we went back as soon as we lead from the front. But he had to stand on the back foot in order to make room for the front foot to come around. If he stood on the front foot, it would have been hard for him to turn that turn. He'll now step over onto the toe side of the board, which is where the toes are, and he'll pivot around the foot that's on the ground, forward down, forward up, forward down, forward up, forward down, bring it back around. There you go. Now can you do that in 4 moves or 4 steps? Step across, bring it 1, 2, 3, and a short 4.
And a short 4.
And a short 4. Okay. So if you think about what Ted did, and I'll bring this out, the board, the board actually went around Ted. Ted's back foot remained in the center of this pivot, and the board went around it. When Ted went the other way, this foot stayed here, and the board swung around Ted. Oh, sorry. But anyhow, it went around it. And the ball there is going around, and the wind's not helping to go around. Everything we do at snowboarding, we move to the side we want to go to with some part of our body, and it ends up going and following that part around. So, it's pretty simple. Snowboarding is simple. Move to the left, the board follows you to the left. Move to the right, the board follows you to the right. Don't get overcomplicated in this, and stay tuned for more easy definitions of what we're doing. We hope that you like the channel today. Hope you'll subscribe, hit the like button, come back and see us. When the snow comes, this will all get a lot easier. So thanks for watching. Hope to see you again.